Hello everyone, Andrew here, and welcome back to Donkey Kong Country. Last time we began World 5, and today the plan is to finish it. But here we have the save game screen, where you can see we have officially surpassed file number 1. So we have 78%, we are now the best file on the cartridge, and in pretty much, the least amount of time too. Like, look at file number 3. It took almost 2 hours, and they only have 47%, but we're up to 78. 22% more to go, and about a world and a half to go. But next up is Poison Pong, and I was so thankful to have a save point before this level as a kid, because this was one of the most difficult levels for me. It is the final underwater level of the game, and it is just super tricky. But one thing that made me really happy as a kid was when I just got so desperate and I started looking for secrets everywhere and found out that if you press left at the beginning of the level, you can find Enguarde. There is an opportunity to pick up Enguarde later on in the level, but to just have Enguarde at the very beginning is a really awesome thing to have. It's also kind of a maze at points too, and I always hated that. It's like, oh man, which way should I go? And I mean, it's usually not worth it to go the wrong way. It's usually just for like a bunch of bananas, but I do want to show things off. And I will admit that I kind of do forget which the correct way is. And see, that wasn't fair. That was totally not fair. It's like, I was prepared for an enemy. But then it didn't look like there were any, so I'm like, okay, I could totally just, not worry. And then it came from off-screen, so I called total shenanigans on that. But let's just try our best to not take any more damage before we have a chance to pick up Enguarde once again. A little later on in the level. But yeah, Enguarde is great because, having that little bit of extra speed to get past all the spinning objects and other weird things that are trying to kill us in this level. It's a good thing to have, but you can see that definitely this level's holding off, it's not so nice compared to the other ones, but especially all these spinning gears. They can make swimming kind of difficult at times, especially when you don't even know where the heck they are in front of you. So it's just take it slowly. There's no rush here. Is there anything up here? No. It's like, hey! Man, I thought that, it was kind of offering you a safe spot at the top of the screen, but not so. It went right up into there and hit me. Yeah, let's try our best here to not mess things up, as it seems like I really want to do that. I think the checkpoint's coming up, though. We just got the O. But yeah, I'm pretty sure the checkpoint was like a screen to the right, and I blew it. But this time, let's not blow it. Let's get Enguarde. And let's play this level like we actually know how to play Donkey Kong Country, because I think we do. I think it is somewhere in the back of my mind, if we clear away all of the other useless information like mathematics and science that nobody needs. I think the way to play Donkey Kong Country is somewhere in there, filed away in, in a filing cabinet somewhere. Because that's how brains work. They are equivalent to filing cabinets. Because I think I'm stealing that from like a SpongeBob SquarePants episode now that I think about it. But SpongeBob SquarePants used to be great. You cannot mess with the first 3 seasons of SpongeBob SquarePants. But we will talk about SpongeBob another day. I promise you that. I've had some SpongeBob plans for a while. But enough about that. We are playing Donkey Kong Country. This is not Donkey Kong Country. Donkey Kong Country Pants, something like that, I don't know. But yeah, so the last underwater level, we had freezing cold waters, and this one we have like super toxic nuclear water, so I'm not sure which one is probably worse for swimming in. But there we go. That is the checkpoint barrel that I mentioned last time, and can we go down there? That's actually really going to bother me. Yes, we can. But again, it's just a bunch of bananas, and it's usually not worth risking your life for 10 bananas, but we're doing it anyway just because I am that crazy. Also, thank goodness for the weird hit detection on walls that helped us get by that. I think, though, we can come over here and pick up Enguarde, I think? Yes, we can. I didn't really ever point it out, but I thought maybe it was kind of obvious. Enguarde cannot kill gigantic gear things, so despite the fact that Enguarde is pretty OP in underwater levels, Enguarde is not going to be able to help us too much here. Now, if we go to the left, I think there's a little bit of a secret, maybe. Or is it just bananas again? Or is it absolutely nothing? Thank goodness there was at least just barely enough room for us to not take damage there. But yeah, Enguarde is just so useful. It helps us destroy all these fish guys that otherwise we would have to deal with. But I think that there are some secrets around here. In this room, I think if you go up, I think there's a secret. Yes, if you go up here, we get a Rambi token. And I think that there's actually another wall that we can go through in a little bit too, which I remember when I found as a kid, I was so happy about. You couldn't even believe. But see, something like that, like there's not actually any indication that you need to hide, but it kind of, you know, just expects you to know somehow. It almost reminds me of the bowling balls from Star Tropics there, where in World 5, where you kind of have to hide in the crevices of the wall while the bowling ball comes by, or else it's instant kill, because that is just how bosses in Star Tropics are. Now, you could go down, but you can also cut about 30 seconds off of this level if you go through the wall to the left, and I believe there's another animal token in here, an espresso token, and then you can shoot yourself to the left at the speed of light. And then, yeah, you pretty much skip a little bit of the level there. Because what you're supposed to do is if you don't go through the wall, you go down to the left and then upwards. But by cutting through the wall, you just cut directly left and skip the whole down part. So yeah, you're skipping a few seconds there. And I think we're just about done with Poison Pong. But yeah, I remember, you'd have no idea how many times as a kid that room would kill me. Because, I mean, it's like, the level's difficult. You get to the final area here with one Kong left. And one of those fish comes from nowhere and destroys you. But, you know, that works too. Getting killed by gears right at the end. This is why I shouldn't talk about things that happened as a kid. Silly Andrew. So by dying, I guess it does give me an opportunity to go downwards. So we might as well. This is what I was skipping last time. And I did a very good job of hanging on to Enguarde. But hey, look. The second we start filming again, everything goes in the garbage. Which is, you know, not as surprising as it should be. But let's see here. So yeah, you go down and you have, that's kind of a cool formation there. It's almost like a, not a Podobo. One of those rotating discs from like Mario 3 kind of thing. And then yeah, so you basically skip that, which is actually a very kind of tricky part that is good to skip. And then this is the little area here where I believe if you go to the right, maybe you can't even go to the right there. Maybe you can only come out from that wall and not actually go back in through it. Or is there another opening? No, so that's it. Can we go up here? I don't think I actually tried that. Please don't hurt me. Please do not hurt me. Thank you. Okay, so let's see if we can actually do this correctly this time. Having Enguarde for this room is like the greatest thing since sliced bread. But you know, let's not do dumb things. And like that. Just as it happened 15 years ago. It's crazy. Ah, shoot! No! 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 Okay, anyway. I was going to continue my line of thought when I when I started filming again. What am I talking about 15 years ago? I probably got Donkey Kong Country 1. I didn't get it, like, when it launched. I think I got my Super Nintendo around... wow, I was about to say 2016. No, that's what year it is now. Around 1996? Because I got it before the Super Nintendo, and I got the before the Nintendo 64. I think I got the Nintendo 64 about a year after it was released. Oh man, I just cannot talk today, and we're getting 1-ups that we don't even need. Or maybe if we keep dying at the end of this level, we actually will need them. Darn it, that means it's going to take me all the way back to the checkpoint barrel. I was hoping that all of the nightmares that had finally ceased after 20 years of Poison Pong, you know, they could rest in peace. But now I'm going to be having nightmares once again tonight of, you know, green water and spinning spiky things in that water. I'm not looking forward to that, honestly. Darn you, Espresso! Hey, at least I keep Enguarde. That is the upside, the one upside of all of this. But anyway, for the 7,000th time, we'll be back in a second. The DK barrel doesn't even come back. I am so angry about that. Well, I can't imagine this going incredibly well, especially with Mr. Crazy Hitbox here. But yeah, let's put all of that bullet hell skills to the test, and let's dodge like we've never dodged before. Except that I don't really know what else I was supposed to do about that. Like, there was not even any time to react. Times 7,001. See, if I could keep Enguarde for this room, that would be great. But I think it's a matter of what I talked about in the last video, where once you do something so many times, you kind of start to get sloppy with it. And that's kind of what I did. Like, I kind of, I don't know about that one. I don't think I touched that guy. I don't think I did. Oh my gosh. This video's been going on forever, and we're on the first level. People like longer videos, so this one is for you. Just for you. Alright, are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Die! 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 Okay, well, everything almost died. You know what, Enguarde? We don't even need you anymore. There we go. There we go. Never playing that level again. It doesn't even have bonus games. Forget you. I don't even care anymore. Cranky's cabin. We've gone into Cranky's cabin in every single world, so we might as well go into him in this one too. What do you have to say today? The crafty croctopus corners his crook of collectible. His croc... I don't know, whatever that said. I heard that Espresso the ostrich can't jump on baddies. I guess his legs are too thin. Yeah, we also know that Espresso's kind of useless. There's too many baddies around for my liking. I'm off to lie down. Well, that was kind of useless, but anyway, the level of which name should not be spoken is now complete, and to reward us for our, incredible efforts, we now have a minecart level. Minecart levels always threw me off as a kid. Again, maybe I shouldn't be talking about things that happened as a kid, but, I don't know, I like them. I think they're fun, they have good music. This minecart level is a little bit different than the last one, because in the last one, when you jumped while in the minecart jumped with you. However, in this level, when you jump, you actually jump out from the minecart. And now this, right here, is one of the most cryptic bonus games in the game, and this is another one that threw me off forever, because there's just no indication of it. So you have bananas, okay, and then there's no bananas. You are supposed to somehow realize that in the section where there are no bananas, it means to jump, because there is a bonus game above the screen where you can't see it. Don't ask me who thought that made sense, because it most certainly was not me. But anyway, yeah, I'm really good at messing up that bonus game. But anyway, that is my bonus game Gant. My bonus game rant of the video. I cannot speak. I've just, consumed so much of that toxic water that it is now mutating my vocal cords into who knows what. So yeah, if I don't, if there's no more videos after this one, I thought I was supposed to jump, but I guess not. But thankfully we got the checkpoint. Man, thank goodness for all of the lives I have accumulated over time. Because, yeah, Poison Pong was just nuts. Also, I think back there I did miss an Enguarde token where if you stay in the minecart and go down, there is a little bit of a secret, but there's no indication of that. So it's not like there was anything I really could have done to prepare for that, unless I had just remembered. But overall, this level's not very long. Like, we already have all the Kong letters. We did miss a bonus game, so we're probably going to have to replay the level. But that's okay. It's a fun level anyway. I believe there is actually still one more bonus game at the end, though. So let's see about that. But let's get to you. Let's bounce on the tire. I think we have just a little bit more. There is the bonus game in there. And what we're going to do is we're going to jump off here. And I remember as a kid, I was always afraid that touching the rails would hurt you. As I mean, I guess real train track rails don't, but I would take the subway a lot with my parents as a kid. And I mean, it's like, don't jump on the subway, you might get electrocuted. So I would just naturally, like, not want to touch train tracks, if that makes sense. Because I didn't really understand the difference between train tracks that would electrocute you if you touch them, and then ones that wouldn't. Because obviously the subway has that rail that is, has electricity flowing through it. I don't know. Just stay off the trains, kids. It's not safe. Go play on the road. 10 times more safe. Just like, I remember, I'd be playing road hockey with friends as a kid. Like, every 5 minutes you have to yell, "Car!" because there'd be a car coming. Totally safe. Let's go get that bonus game. There we go. Okay. What do we got here? We have a... Okay. I honestly... I don't really want another Animal Buddy bonus game. TBL. No, TBH. Wow. TBL. To be lucky? I don't know. That's making up internet slang, because that's what we do on this channel. Anyway, thankfully we only have 2 of those, so we're not, doing whatever. But we can actually just start select out of the level anyway. No big deal. And I believe that should be L3. Yes, it is. So with that, we have one final level before we take on the boss of World 5, and that is Blackout Basement. And this level, oh man, this is just the video of tough levels. Actually, speaking of tough levels, I actually don't know. What do people think about that last minecart level? Which one's more difficult, the first one or the minecart level that we just did? Because I honestly think the first one's a bit tougher. I didn't really have too much of an issue at all with the one that we just beat. but I guess that is again up for debate. But this level here, in case you have not noticed, the gimmick is that the lights flicker on and off, and we don't have Parrot Dude Squawks to help us out this time, so we kind of just need to wait for them to come back on. It's an interesting effect. You kind of just need to take things slowly. Don't rush forward. Make sure you take your time, because I mean there's no time limit anyway, so it's not like there is a reason to not, you know, just wait it out. And let's hope that we don't miss any bonus games. I think I remember there was always a tricky bonus game near the end, which I would mess up, but we'll see if we can stop that from happening. So far so good though, we're over halfway. Again, it really is just a patience thing, especially when it comes to like the platforms. It's true that there are like enemies like these guys who, you know, it's not so great. One big problem though, I guess, is this rope. We're gonna need to somehow time this correctly. Like that. Anyway, actually, maybe I'll stop talking for a second so we can enjoy the music. Factory levels did come back in Donkey Kong Country Returns #1, and that was awesome. That game had some really, really, really great musical remixes of songs from this game, and also did a really good job of incorporating the different level themes from this game into worlds, which was pretty cool. Those worlds from Donkey Kong Country Returns 1 then returned as levels in Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, where each level of the final world corresponds to one of the worlds in Donkey Kong Country Returns. Since the final world of Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, this is a spoiler by the way, so plug your ears for 15 seconds if you don't want to hear this, is actually DK Isle, which is where Donkey Kong Country Returns 1 takes place. That's why there's 8 levels in that world, not including the bonus levels. So each level in the final world of Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze corresponds to one of the worlds from Donkey Kong Country Returns #1, and I thought that was really freaking clever, and I was actually really happy about that. I think I need to hang on to this, do I? I know that there's a bonus game near the end, and I think that I need a barrel in order to open it. So I don't really want to get rid of this. Is this it? Yes, it is! There we go! I'm actually surprised I got that on my first try. I would always lose that metal barrel as a kid. And then I would always have to replay it, and I would keep losing it, and then you have to, you know, you keep either dying or something until eventually you get it. But there we go! Blackout Basement, I think someone in the comments mentioned that it was one of the most difficult levels in the game. Even as a kid, I did not want to mention anything that happened when I was a kid, but this was not a level that gave me very much trouble, except for getting that bonus game at the end. I had a little bit of trouble getting that, but overall actually beating the level wasn't something that I thought was too difficult. And there you go! Yeah, that was definitely not as difficult as Poison Pond, or even the last level. Oh man, Poison Pond, we've been recording for 25 minutes. I have a lot of editing to do. Actually, there might have also been about a minute or two ahead of time before I actually started talking in the video, when I was preparing things. But with that said, Boss Dumb Drum is the boss of World 5, and it is not a rehash, which is pretty fantastic. It is one of those, you know, oil drums that I was talking about earlier, and the gimmick with this boss is that it comes down and tries to crush you thwomp style, and then it dumps a whole bunch of enemies on you, which you then kill, and then the thwompening repeats. And then, and then the enemy something like that repeats, and then the thwompening repeats. Again, it's not a very complex boss, but it's still kind of cool. It's better than just, you know, a rehash, so that's kind of nice. The Zinger boss never gets rehashed. I mean, they could have easily just rehashed that here, but instead you do actually get 4 unique bosses, with the Naughty boss and the Necky boss being rehashed. So spoilers for what the boss of the next world is, but wow, like, see, that's pretty simple, honestly. I just kind of messed up there and lost Diddy. But with that said, World 5 is now complete, and the 6th and final world, Chimp Caverns, will begin in the next part. Once again, that ship there to the left is inching ever closer, and I'm sure we'll find out what is up with that in the near future. But until then, thank you everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Sorry for messing up Poison Pond so much. Hopefully I can edit it and it looks fun anyway. You know, it's cut out all the boring replaying parts and hopefully it's, you know, leave in the silly mistake parts that people seem to like, and hopefully that will all work out. But with that said, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and hope you'll join me next time for the beginning of World 6. So thanks, and see you later.